Greetings, fellow Sentai fans. While I look at Kira Sentai Zyuranger Nakatoon's on with Clay Monsters, new and improved. At a ramen shop, a boy named Shinichi is working with his father, helping out with customers as the waiter takes an order for ramen. However, helping behind the counter is Dan, who starts eating the bowl without realizing it's for delivery, making him stop and set the bowl up for sending to the customer. The Zyuranger approaches up with Geki selling wood for ramen, but none with money as Dan runs out to make the delivery, revealing this was his part-time job. But Macy says forbidden and boy asks if he's got Barza's permission, which Dan says he did for buying a computer which he thinks will be useful. She runs out with the case and Dan can't just deliver the bowl as is and must put in a carrier while priding his father's ramen as the best in the world. Then he should deliver it before it gets mushy, making him run off with the order. At the shrine, Barca claimed Dan's plea for a job was convincing, leading to May pleading that 100 yen a day allowance is enough for her. Barca knows he can raise it due to the limited amount of treasures he has to trade to be able to even make money for the team to feed them. Boy asks if they can work part-time, which he finally relents to under the idea that their duty is to fight Bandora and they have to run to their duty when she attacks. As well as he hoped, Dan learned a lesson by letting him work, which he tells May and Boy to do. Gekken says to pass on the offer, says there could be issues if Bandora pulls something, which leads to Goshi generally pass and decides to work as well. The juniors soon all get jobs. May work at the counter at a fast food restaurant, Boy a delivery boy dealing with dogs, and Goshi as a traffic cop. On the moon, Bandora says the junior won't be able to relax for long as she moves forwards with an incredible plan. Back at the ramen shop, Dan continues to clean the dishes as the master tells him to line up the bowls for ramen, but notices they're not clean enough. Cleanliness is something the shop prides. He tells Dan to clean them again. Shinichi tells Dan he hasn't picked up the bowl from Mr. Yamada yet as he tries to rush it, making him worry that he didn't know part-time work was so problematic. However, an earthquake suddenly happens. The people rush out of here until it stops, confusing them as they return. Dan asked the owner if he was scared, and he admitted he was. However, it suddenly turns on the faucet, releasing a strange red dust from it, concerning Dan and making him discover roaches swarming from beneath the ovens, making the owner try to chase them away and start crawling into his food. His son begins to yell about whether the meals are ready and runs to see what's going on as the roaches begin to swarm the entire restaurant, making everyone run away in disgust as the red gas continues to spew out of a nearby vent. As Dan passes him by, making him realize the roaches are running from it. Dan rushes to place traps and swat away all the roaches throughout the restaurant as the master cries out, but the more they remove, the more that emerge before another earthquake occurs, causing even more chaos. The owner finally gives up, claiming no one would come to such a dirty place. His son tells him they can't give up and have to keep it running. His father claims after Shinichi's mother died, he quit his regular job and started a ramen shop, working to where they were in only 10 years, but the roaches have ruined everything. Dan and Shinichi tried to boost up the ramen shop owner, wondering if there was something strange going on, as two strange men from the gas company enter the shop with a weird green-skinned creature with a flat top and fake eyes. Otama sees the red gas is caused by construction and there was nothing to worry about. But when Dan appears, the two men panic before deciding to order ramen and ask for 5 or 6 bowls, making the shopkeeper happy for the business. As the trio devour their bowls, Dan wonders where he's seen them before as they fight over a noodle and the strange green man eats it with his hands. As they compliment the food, a roach falls into a bowl as the small one eats it. As the trio leave the shop, having been fed, Dan tries to leave but is approached by the green-skinned man who grabs his face and tosses him aside before staggering off, making the Zyuranger wonder where they went. Later, Jeremy says Zyuranger had Bandora maybe behind the attack with the red gas, and 2 of the trio look by Totopad and Bulkback. Boy may realize something isn't right with how you can't have cockroaches in a restaurant and that the shop may close if they keep appearing. Goshi's more worried about the big guy and who he is, while Gek is sent to investigate the store. That night, a strange song is heard echoing within the ramen shop that Shinichi hears. Investigating, he searches the shop until finding a manhole. He hears singing within as a strange giant approaches him. Dan runs to the shop as Shinichi is captured as the creature grabs him, holding them up as the manhole bursts and he throws both underground, falling until they enter a cage. Within, he sees Leprechaun leading an army of golems to harvest orange clay as they put it within a machine and processes it before being added to a huge clump as the monster maker offers a bonus to the hardest worker. Dan asks what they're doing as Pandora laughs from afar. She appears and states they're digging for better clay to create better Dora monsters. Having seen the team gain dragon seeds from Goryuzin, they can't sit still. Through Leprechaun's research of the ground, he discovers that Dokita clay can produce the most powerful monsters, making him happy and busy. While the red gas is discovered as a sneaky and dirty side effect of the clay processing, making the roaches appear nearby. Dan also confirms the earthquakes beneath the restaurant as caused by the processing before yelling to escape. However, instead of letting him, Pandora summons Dora Franca, the huge giant who lifts up the cage as Pandora reveals him as the first Dora monster created with Dokita clay. Shunky Dan and Shinichi are thrown down, the cage breaking as the giant pursues them. Telling Shinichi to hide, Dan tries uses nimbleness against Dora Franca, but is overwhelmed by its strength and he's tossed around as the monster absorbs all its attacks while smashing it with ease. Angered, Dan transforms into Tricera Ranger, making Dora Franca remove the bolts from his deck and attack the Zyuranger with his strength before striking with his chain. As they fight, Pandora finishes collecting her Dokita clay to create the new Dora monsters, heading off. Around the shop, the other Zyuranger search for Dan and Shinichi as another earthquake happens, making Shinichi's father run as the ground breaks open, destroying the restaurant and seeking it beneath the surface. Shinichi soon appears from manhole with Tricera Ranger as Pandora rises with the Dokita clay as Dan explains what happened to his teammates, the witch claiming they were too late and will be defeated by new Dora monsters with the Dokita clay. Dan wants his team of Dora Franca as the team is easily crushed by it, leading to the others to transform as Dora Franca easily crushes the team with its attacks, tossing them aside even with the legendary weapons. Pandora encourages the Dora monster to crush the Zyuranger before the Ranger want to make it grow, turning its chain to a massive mason chain and leading to the Guardian Beast summoning Anti-Jujin. Dora Franca crushes the mecha with its power, withstanding even the Godhorn as it flails its chain towards him and wraps it around Anti-Jujin's neck, lifting it up and smashing it to the ground. Goshu wears Geki to summon Dragon Caesar and to deal with the monster, Geki yells for Barai before Anti-Jujin is kicked again. Geki worries about his brother as his Pandora mocks his team, saying the planet is doomed. Anti-Jujin keeps being tossed around and crushed by Dora Franca. Yeesh, that's not good. So anyway, let's take a look at an error from this episode. There's some shots where Dora Franca is shown with normal skin instead of blue. And let's take a look at a note from this episode. The other ramen stand where Dan becomes employed is portrayed by voice actor Shigeru Yoshiyama. Did not know that. So I think this episode is pretty interesting, and yep, we're definitely going to see a lot more of Dora Franca as these episodes go on, so yeah. So overall, I give Clay Monsters New and Improved 4 Megazords out of 5. When I tune in to the next episode, A Mystery, the Attacking Beast Night God. So until then, in the words of Zordon, may the power protect you.